Welcome to the Explainer, everyone. Okay, today we are unpacking an absolutely game-changing update that mobile power users have literally been begging for. After all this time, the Pocket computer is finally getting its very own native desktop mode.
You know, for years, turning your phone into a true desktop meant jumping through some pretty massive hoops. But as tech reviewers like ETA Prime have been pointing out, the landscape is completely shifting. Google finally did it. And the best part? This is not a hack.
That's right, it is fully baked directly into Android 16. It's hitting general availability with the QPR3 update, which means zero digging into developer mode toggles, zero complex workarounds, and yep, it's no longer just a Samsung exclusive.
So let's get into Section 1, Simple Setup and Requirements.
You're probably wondering what you actually need to get this running. Well, the barrier to entry is surprisingly low. Got a Pixel 8 or newer? Check. Do you have the Android 16 QPR3 March update installed? Check. From there, you just grab a standard USB Type-C to HDMI adapter, hook it up to a monitor, and boom, it's practically plug and play. Your phone will immediately ask if you want to mirror the display or enter desktop mode.
Moving right along to Section 2, Standout Features in UI. Okay, so one of the absolute coolest additions here is the universal cursor. It is exactly what it sounds like. This brilliant little feature lets your mouse move seamlessly between your external monitor and your phone screen. They aren't acting like isolated islands anymore, it's just one fluid, unified workspace. And setting it up is just a breeze. You plug in, enable universal cursor in your settings, and then, honestly, this is the genius part, you adjust your spatial boundaries. You literally tell the operating system exactly where your phone is sitting relative to your monitor. That way, you don't accidentally lose your cursor off the edge of the screen when you're just trying to close out an app.
Once you're actually in, the whole user interface feels incredibly familiar, just expanded. You've got your app panel right at the bottom, your quick settings up in the top right, and true multi-window support. Want to snap a game emulator on the left side while pulling up a YouTube tutorial on the right? Flawless. It works so well.
Which brings us to Section 3, Gaming and App Performance.
Testing this on devices like the Pixel 9 Pro XL is looking really promising. It handles heavy-hitting productivity apps like Adobe Rush pretty decently, giving you that massive full-screen timeline you always crave when editing on mobile. But full-screen gaming, say firing up Minecraft, that is really where this entire setup shines. When you go full screen, those pesky taskbars just automatically melt away out of sight. Need to exit? Just a quick mouse hover brings them right back. But here is the massive win for the mobile gamers out there. Android 16 preserves your native gaming overlay, so your FPS counter stays right there, fully visible on the big screen. All right, let's talk about Section 4, current limitations to consider. Time for a quick reality check, guys. If you are hoping to push crystal clear 4K or even 1440p natively right out of the gate, well, brace for a little disappointment. Right now, the resolution is hard-capped. Your standard 16:9 monitors max out at 1080p, and 1610 monitors get capped at 1200p. You can scale the UI up, sure, but that raw pixel output is definitely a major bottleneck for now.
And the desktop itself? It definitely has a few quirks right now. Want to drop an app shortcut right onto your fresh desktop background? You can't. You're entirely reliant on pinning things to that bottom taskbar. Oh, and if you change your desktop wallpaper, it automatically changes your phone's wallpaper too. Actually, kind of clunky, right?
Now, it is basically impossible to talk about mobile desktop modes without mentioning the current heavyweight in the room, Samsung DeX. While Android 16's new native approach and that universal cursor are absolutely brilliant, it just lacks the deep optimization right now. DeX is older, it's highly optimized, and it's incredibly feature-rich. So for the time being, Samsung definitely still holds the overall desktop crown.
But hey, despite those early growing pains, this lays a phenomenal foundation. By baking this directly into Android itself, Google is officially signaling developers to start optimizing their apps for external displays. We are looking squarely at a future of true, fully optimized Google Play desktop apps.
So, taking a step back and considering these brand new native capabilities alongside the current limitations we've covered in this explainer, what's your killer use case? Are you going to plug in for some on-the-go photo editing, massive screen gaming, or just heavy media consumption? The Pocket computer is evolving fast, and it is going to be so fascinating to see how this changes the way we all work and play.